Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Synergy Podcast. This is District 84 serving Central and Northern Florida, where we build clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. Today, we have a wonderful guest, and I'm very excited to introduce him. My series is really about districts beyond our own, and I'm really excited to really speak with Mr. Jim Fuhs from Fusion Marketing and so many other live streaming shows that he does. Excited to learn a little bit more about him, what he does, and about his Toastmasters experience. Welcome, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great, Dee Jae. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be on your podcast.
Thank you so much. I contribute all my appreciation and gratitude to Toastmasters, really giving me the opportunity to be part of their podcasting team and always encouraging me to do my excellence. Go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, your club, and what district you're from.
I'm Jim Fuhs. Like you said, my company is Fusion Marketing, and I am with the Rising Phoenix Toastmasters Club in Atlanta, Georgia, part of District 44, which is west of 85 in the state of Georgia. So I guess several years ago, there was a bigger district. I think District 14 is on the other side of 85. So we're District 44, and it's a great district, very energetic. We just had our TLI this past weekend that I attended.
Yeah, we did too. And I spent amazing 5 hours just really bonding and learning a lot about Toastmasters and everything that it has to offer. Well, how were you introduced to Toastmasters? And really, how long have you been a member?
I was introduced to Toastmasters by a friend of mine, Jeff Sheehan, who, if you don't know who Jeff Sheehan is, he's got about 300,000 followers on Twitter. He's actually considered one of the top 50 marketers in B2B. And we were going to these local in-person networking events. Remember those? And he said, hey, we have this Toastmasters meeting on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock. Why don't you join me? And so I did. I guess, as they would say, the rest is history. That was in February of 2019.
Okay, wonderful. So it sounds to me like we've been a Toastmaster about the same time. Fairly new, but nonetheless, the experiences and the lessons and the skills that I have learned in a year and a half to 2 years have been way beyond anything that I've foreseen. I don't know if you feel the same, but the skills have just been phenomenal. I really want to go a little bit and talk about the Toastmaster values, and I wanted to ask you about the 4. We have respect, integrity, service, and excellent. And I wanted to know which one has impacted you the most.
I would probably say service has impacted me the most. Very active, not only with my club, but in the district. I've only been a member since 2019, but I was the VP PR for my club. Actually ended up being for a year and a half because we had someone that had an emergency come up. So I took over during their term and then served a following term. I'm now the president of my club. And as well, I'm a member of the Speakers Bureau for District 44, and I help the district VP PR with their social media as well. And I've done some social media classes for Region 2. I've also been a Zoom master for some of the training that Region 2 has done. So I would say service for me has been probably the one I would say I've focused on the most. And actually, all 4 of these really tie into the type of person I think that I am when it comes to how I handle my business and how I like to deal with people.
Yeah, I think you touched on some things that really resonated with me as well. Service is definitely important. And there's something that we share. We're both military veterans.
Mhm.
I know that for me, these values personally really tie into those values. And I found so much comfort in Toastmasters, a similar comfort that I found in the values of being a military member and a veteran. I really encourage anyone to check out Toastmasters if they've been a veteran, because there is so many similarities and you get that sense of camaraderie and loyalty there is integrity in service. There is integrity in the clubs, in the districts. And that's something that we really pride ourselves on. So thank you for that. You mentioned at the beginning a little bit about how your club, your district is very energetic and full of life. And I really want to talk a little bit about that, about how your club or your area really is special. What makes them different?
I would say for me, where I feel extremely fortunate is I'd say not only is the district unique in some of the people that are in it, but my club. Okay, so get this. My club not only has former district directors, but we actually have one of the standing international directors is a member of our club, Roy Ganga. We've got people that have been region advisors in our club, and even though they're no longer serving in these roles, they're still very active in our club. Pretty much, I think right now we have 3 or 4 members that have been area directors within the past 2 years as well. So I think for someone coming into Toastmasters brand new, you get this experience of being around these people that are very seasoned, but also very helpful in making you feel comfortable with the process and being very encouraging and teaching you things like, how to do evaluations and things of that nature that you maybe wouldn't get in other clubs that maybe don't have that same, if you want to call it, bench of just deep experience in Toastmasters.
I agree. I agree. A club structures your experience, and you have to find a club that really works for you. I was very fortunate in my club finding me, actually. I was found through my employer. My employer had reached out to me and said, "Hey, we have Toastmasters if anyone would like to join." And they paid for that initial membership. And it was really fantastic. I just took it all in. And it's been ongoing expansion and growth and really purely enjoying what I'm learning and what we're experiencing in the Toastmasters and the evaluations, the impromptu speaking, all those skills that maybe you didn't learn earlier in life, but really Toastmasters gives you the safe space to do that week after week or month after month. I'm not sure how often your club meets. We meet weekly.
Yeah,
So
we meet weekly as well. I think one of the things too, and I know we were talking about this a little bit before we came on, is I- I've been teaching, doing other things for many years. I did Dale Carnegie back in the 80s, like the actual course, not just reading his book, and that helped me. But as a teacher, as a live streamer, where I think Toastmasters has been valuable is it made me realize little things that either I was not doing well that I could improve on. The fact that I can sit there and maybe practice some things in front of an audience before I do it real to kind of get a feel for, is my message coming across? I would really think sometimes, I don't care if you're recording video or live streaming video, you should really think about joining Toastmasters because it will help you so much in how you're able to speak, understanding things like vocal variety or how you need to sometimes pause or overcoming filler words, things of that nature. That's one of the things too that I really appreciate about what Toastmasters has done for me.
absolutely. I could absolutely agree. That was one of those things that I knew I needed to work on, and I quickly embraced in Toastmasters. I really do like those evaluations and the feedback that you get, and it only improves you moving forward. And not to mention, those are skills that you carry with you the rest of your life. Communication is so important to anyone's success. I really encourage anyone from anywhere to join Toastmasters because of those skills that perhaps you didn't learn, but now is an opportunity for you to gain those. I do want to switch gears a little bit and talk about some of the challenges and the barriers that you have overcame within your club, your district in the last 2 years. We've all the clubs have been through a lot, and we've all been making changes. You already mentioned that you were a Zoom master. We've already kind of went over that we're live streamers. So I assume that a lot of that leadership came from you being someone that had that experience previously. So can you tell us a little bit about the challenges, the barriers, and really how your club, your area, your district has grown and changed?
It's definitely been a Zoom world for my club specifically. We used to meet in person, and the location, shut down because of COVID as far as allowing people in there. We haven't been able to get back in there yet. So we started using Zoom. We've continued to, and now we're starting to consider hybrid. But I will say where that challenge became an opportunity for us is because we do meet virtually and we meet virtually on Saturday mornings. We get people sometimes from all over the world coming to our meetings. We have had co-meetings with other clubs in other countries. We had a meeting with a club from the Caribbean. We had a meeting with a club from India. And so that's been a great experience and opportunity that we were able to take out of what could have otherwise been a bad experience. I will say membership did go down. We're starting to go the other way, but I think we have run into, and I think a lot of clubs run into this, is the people are nervous when it comes to being on camera like we are, right now while we record this podcast. And I think what we have to all realize is this is not going away. So you can't sit there and say, "Oh, well, I'm not going to do the Zoom thing. When you guys go back to meeting in person, then I'll come back." I think this whole live streaming, recorded, however you want to look at it, is going to be a part of our daily lives from this point forward because there's a lot of people getting comfortable with it. Even in our district, we've continued to be able to have our district training because of things like Hopin and StreamYard or because of Zoom events, which was our last one. And yes, it's not quite the same thing as being in person, but I think until we can truly do that in a manner where everyone's comfortable, we're going to have this. And then I think on top of that, as a a club leader, I like the idea that not only can I have other people join my club that maybe couldn't have before because they don't have that physical boundary problem now, but that I can go visit clubs in other places as well because of technology. So I think the challenge or that barrier that first came up is now turned it into an opportunity for us, and it's really something that you can even, like, invite a family member that's maybe somewhere else, like, "Hey, come to my meeting
Yeah.
and, watch me speak," or something like that.
Right, right. I agree. I agree so much. Although at the beginning, the changes were overwhelming and stressful, we've been able to really, I think, expand ourselves as Toastmasters and find new ways to engage, find new ways to communicate, find new ways to continue our service and excel in those services. I've found it extremely rewarding, the hybrid. We also do that and being able to offer through a virtual platform and however many ways we can come up with, right? Problem solve and be creative, find ways to meet and continue to skill build. You kind of already answered my next question. It was talking about how your club or your district really celebrates or encourages diversity. I know that you shared a little bit about expanding globally, interacting with other Toastmasters from different areas, parts of the world. So that clearly really expresses how you're celebrating and encouraging diversity. Tell us a little bit more about that and if there's any other ways that you have found or how you could maybe advise other clubs to continue to celebrate that diversity and expand past their district or their local club.
Our club is truly an international club. We have people from all over the world that have moved to the Atlanta area that are part of our club. We have all colors and races in our club. And the other thing is that even the leadership of our district for several years now, it's actually run by women. I would say we're definitely the definition of diversity, and everyone is very open to communicate and looking for new ideas. I think it goes back to a comment you made earlier in that you definitely can find a club that meets your needs. And so look around. Don't feel like, this club didn't resonate with me. Find the right club. And I think even more so because of the virtual capability, you've got a lot more options and opportunities to find that fit.
Yes, absolutely. I know that as VPPRs, because you mentioned you were public relations and I am as well, that it's part of our duties in that role to get the word out about Toastmasters and to share all the wonderful things that Toastmaster has to offer, and really that it's just open to anyone. Anyone can join, especially if you have a language barrier. Join Toastmasters. So many of the powerful stories that we do hear from leadership, from even just basic members, it's really about, I wanted to learn to speak better. The grammarian, I love that role, right? Learning new words, how to maybe use something different instead of those, what do we call those safe words? The awesome or that's great. But really expanding our language to use descriptive words and enhance the quality of our communication. My last question, and we're going to start to wrap it up, really is, how has Toastmasters ultimately changed you? What has it provided to you?
It's made me a better speaker. It's made me a better instructor. I teach digital marketing classes. And so it really made me realize some of those things that I didn't realize I was doing. And it's made me be a better speaker. Every time I speak now, whether it's a class that I've given before, it's made me think about, this is the first time some of these people have seen me. Don't take that for granted. Treat every opportunity to just speak as a gift. And it just given me even more confidence in my ability to speak publicly. You talk about table topics is great, because it makes you think on your feet, which that's where that reminds me very much of the Dale Carnegie training that I had, in that someone gives you something, and because you're confident in how you can speak, or you know how to bridge things, that's some of the things that I've done. Being a part of the Speakers Bureau, I've had the opportunity to speak in front of groups of people. And I think that's also led to me getting speaking opportunities in my business, because doing videos and people see that I'm a decent speaker. And I'm not going to say I'm the best speaker in the world, but it gives me that confidence that I know that I can deliver something, and I know what I need to do to connect with the audience.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought the Speakers Bureau, because I know our district is really ramping up our area, and hopefully I'll be part of that wonderful part of the Toastmasters. And that's something I wanted to really quickly share, is I know Toastmasters has just more than just weekly club meetings. We have contest season coming up. So that's always another fun thing. And I know that may not sound fun, but it really is. It's just being around individuals that want to take on those challenges. And like you said, gain confidence, being able to find words and bridge things. I just can't thank Toastmasters enough personally. And it sounds like you feel the same.
Yes, definitely.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, Jim, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for sharing your experiences on Toastmasters, sharing and highlighting your club, your district. I really appreciate everything you've shared with us today. I think that you really have given a lot of great information.
Thank you, DJ. Great to be
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.